Sometimes the outcome of forgiveness is a police investigation, or a court case, or a breakup, or you deciding to go your separate ways on good grounds. Sometimes it's reconciliation with new boundaries. Sometimes you have to wait before assessing whether to reconcile or to close the chapter for good. Joseph, in Genesis, assessed and tested his brothers 3 to 4 times after they sold him off. He found out he had a little brother, Benjamin, which made him worry now that they might treat him the way that he was treated by them. So he invited them to dinner, gave Benjamin 5 times more food than the other brothers to see if they would get jealous, testing their jealousy. He hid a silver cup in their bag on their journey home to test their loyalty, see if they would return it. Before these tests, even when they were buying the food in the first place, the silver coins that they bought the grain with, he put them back into the grain bags to test their integrity, see if they would come back. He also kept Simeon in prison to test their honesty. Now, God didn't tell Joseph to do all those tests. We are called to keep no records of wrongs. However, I believe we can take note of the boundary that Joseph displayed here, of marking a line that what happened to him was not okay and should not happen again. He was kind of saying that before I restore my relationship with my brothers, let me guard my heart and investigate before the relationship harms me. That's wise. God investigated Sodom and Gomorrah through Genesis 18:19 when Abraham tried to negotiate with God to save Lot and his family and the good people there. Before God strikes, he investigates. That's a boundary. Jesus, although he's now 72, he walked with 12, he was only vulnerable to Peter, James, and John, 3. That's a boundary. Genesis 1, God literally makes a boundary between land and water, and night and day, and even Adam and the forbidden fruit. Boundaries are God's design, not to imprison us, but to allow us to freely live away from harm. Boundaries are biblically displayed. And sometimes if the evidence from the investigation or the first occurrence is harming your faith or your safety, that might mean that you need to forgive them in your heart and part ways. If they are giving that they are definitely repenting, like Pharaoh in Exodus, when he kept claiming false repentance over and over after plague after plague after plague after plague after plague, sometimes the person's pattern will speak louder than the person itself. Their pattern and actions will expose their character, and that's when you use your discernment and ask God to guide you to navigate that ending or that new beginning.